Yo, what it is, what it do, YouTube? Welcome back to another video with your boy AyeShadJ, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you know when your boy is posting. And if you're feeling this video, make sure you let me know by dropping a like or by leaving a comment down below. But hey, man, I ain't even gonna count to y'all, man. It is super late, which is why I'm talking low. Let me see what time it is. 4:26 a.m. I'm gonna prove it. Hold up. What time is it right now?
It's 4:26 a.m.
Yes, sir. We on the grind, man. The grind don't stop. It may slow down, but it don't stop. But hey, man, I ain't gonna cap to y'all, man. I have reacted to this before, but I want to go back and react to it because when I first reacted to this, I was at around about 3,000 subscribers. And now I'm at 15K and counting. Shout out to the Shot Squad, you know what I'm saying? I reacted to this about a year ago when it first came out. And I want to react to this because I wanted to react to it mainly for motivation for myself, but also motivation for you guys because it doesn't matter where you start. It's all about where you end up. You know what I'm saying? So take this as motivation. We're gonna react to it again because number one, I done forgot some stuff too. I done forgot some of the stuff, and I like to refresh my memory. Plus, I know some of y'all want to see me react to this because somebody had commented. So we're going to go ahead and get into the video, man. Let's get it, man. Let's go.
We see like my grandma and my mom and stuff standing in front of the screen door, and my stepdad had pushed my grandma through the screen door. Me and my brother was like, oh no, fuck.
Marvin back up to his old tricks. Nah, I'm just playing. We ain't gonna get on that in the video.
Fuck this shit, whatever, woo, let's get it, man, let's go. After that happened, I remember the police showed up, the police came, the ambulance, fire truck.
I love this intro.
How the hell they gon' judge us when we came from the bottom? We ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up.
Do y'all like this intro better or the new intro? I really love this one, bro. This one right here is a bop, a jam, a whole hit. Hold up. We got started back over.
Truck.
Yeah.
How the hell they gon' judge us when we came from the bottom? We ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. How the hell they gon' judge us when we came from the bottom? We ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up.
Now we up. Now we
Right
Gucci.
when I opened the screen door, my stepdad, you know, he hit my brother in the face with a pot, and then he stabbed me with one of them long barbecue forks, some thongs, whatever.
I didn't even know you hit a brother with a
I was
pot.
just in shock, man. I ended up falling on the ground side of snow, bleeding everywhere. I remember neighbors coming outside, they was bringing me blankets and pillows. And then the ambulance came, the police came, and they cut my whole shirt off, whatever, blood everywhere. And then they ended up hitting me like in a stretcher, took me to the hospital and stuff. And then like, after that, you know, that night, we never went back home. They put us in, I guess, their custody or whatever you want to call it.
I wonder when they record. I think they recorded this like back in 2018 because Damien looks a lot younger right here.
It wasn't like no juvenile center, but it felt like it. Me and my brother, we was crying and stuff because we didn't know where we was going. We knew we wasn't going back home to our mom. We ended up staying with my auntie for like 6 months, and she basically, we was in foster care with her for 6 months, and we had to like change schools and just basically change our whole lifestyle. It just wasn't the same anymore. Like when I was 17,
That's crazy.
I had got emancipated. So my mom ended up signing her rights over to my dad. And my dad was like, you ain't 18 yet, you gotta move in with me, I'm still responsible for you. So I ended up moving in with my dad. I was 17, I had no money at the time. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, you know, I used to ask for money from my dad and stuff. He never gave me no money. He always told me, you gotta go get a job or something. But I felt like my dad, my real dad, I felt like he was doing more for his stepkids than he was doing for me, his real kids. I felt like As my dad, you supposed to support me. So he made me get a job. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I went to apply for Little Caesars. They said, the only thing we have available
I remember people were roasting him for that picture when he posted that Lamborghini.
is shakerboarding. I was like, what's shakerboarding? They said, the person that hold the sign in the corner and check the sign like this. I actually felt embarrassed. I was on the corner of like Stadium Coliseum. That's where like all the traffic be at. You know what I'm saying? So everybody named mama seen me, friends from school seen me over there. I was just like, I ain't gonna lie, when I held the sign, I was holding it like this over my face. So you couldn't like see my face, but people still see me on the corner. I got my first check, it was like $200. I was like, oh, hell yeah. I went inside, I told the manager, I said, listen, bro, give me more hours. Little Caesars was going good for me. And I still was with this girl, which is my ex-girlfriend now. And then, you know, we wanted something new. So we decided to move away. And we was about to move to Arizona. Me and her, we both quit our jobs. We packed up everything. And after that, we hit the highway, we dipped out. All we had in the car was clothes. I guess like, the dude that she was messing with, like, I guess this dude that she was messing with took her virginity. Okay, he took her virginity, and females be like, oh my gosh, you know, he took my virginity. They be on their feelings about that. So.
Yeah, he ain't capping, bro. Hey, man, the one who virginity I took, bro, it took like 5 or 6 years. Nah, I say about 4 or 5 years before we finally actually left each other alone.
So that's up really on my When we was down there, like, every day I'd be at the crib, because at the time, that's when I was trying to do YouTube, but I was doing like, I was playing like video games, NBA 2K and stuff. It really wasn't working out for me. This was like years ago. When I always be up all night editing videos, so like I wake up in the afternoons. But like every morning, her grandma or like her aunties would ask her to go to the store and stuff. But the whole time I was sleeping, she was actually going to the store for her aunties, but she actually was meeting up with her ex-boyfriend that took her virginity. Basically just like played the shit out of me. One day, she came in her room crying and she was just like, I don't want to be with you no more, Damien.
That shit
I said, what
suck.
you mean? I thought it was a joke or a prank, but she was like, I'm done, I'm through. But I didn't want to believe it. She basically made me quit my job, move across country, sold everything, gave up everything. And I said, what am I supposed to do? She said, just go back home. You know, like when couples get into arguments, people leave, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm about to go cool down. I'll be back in a couple hours. So that's.
See, that's the type of person I am in a relationship too. Like, I like to cool down, then we talk about it later.
What happened? I came back, she wasn't there. And so I was just, all right, cool. So I ended up falling asleep inside the car. I ended up falling asleep inside the car outside her people's house. And then I woke up in the morning, knock at the window. I woke up, I said, what the fuck, what's going on? It was the police. The police was knocking at my window, and I rolled the window down, said, what's going on? They said, sir, you have to leave. I said, what you
Did they
talking
say South
about?
Park?
The window down, said, what's going on? They said,
Oh, South Bend.
You have to leave. I said, what you talking about? It was just like, well, neighbors called the police, said somebody was sleeping outside in their car. I said, oh, me and my girl, we got some argument, but you know, we working on things. It was like, well, why don't you go up there and knock on the door? I was just like, let me just call her. She blocked me. So I'm asleep outside in the
That's
car.
so messed up,
in front of
bro.
her parents' house, or in front of her auntie's house. I was just like, she answered her phone. I was like, I'll call back in a little bit. He was like, to be honest, I don't think they want you here.
I bet Shorty's sick right now. I bet she's sick, boy. Oh my goodness. This is the ultimate F you right here. Like this kind of like DDG situation. When DDG was with Shorty and she left him saying that he wasn't gonna ever blow on YouTube and all that stuff. Then he blew on YouTube. Now look at this nigga. This nigga is a whole blown rapper now, bro. Ooh, I know she's sick. I know DDG Shorty sick. I know Damien it's Shorty sick. Boy.
That's what the police officer told me. So that leads me to believe that one of her people called the police on me for him to tell me that I don't think they want you here. You know, so I had no choice at the time but just put gas in the car and I just drove back to Indiana. But I already quit my job, I ain't have nothing. So me and my brother moved into an apartment together, and at the time I was working at Little Caesars, and I started doing YouTube at the time. I was like taking YouTube seriously. And I had like my first channel that I probably had like 100 channels on YouTube. One of my channels had like 20,000 subscribers on it. And, you know, I was making a little bit of money. Long story short, my highest check was like $700 for the month. This was like years ago, $700. One day, I'm playing the game, recording my video, the lights cut off. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm thinking it was a power outage or something. You know what I'm saying? So I looked out the window. I see everybody else, Chris. They apartment still lit up. I called my bro. I was like, yo, nigga.
Hey, while I'm playing, I need to check on mine. Hold up.
I said, nigga, what? Man, I called the light company. They said, I think our light bill was like $1,000. So
God dang. $1,000. Boy, they must have ran that air conditioner all week. What the? Hold up. I'm trying to check my light bill. Hold up. Oh, okay. All right. Bet. It ain't due yet. Okay, bet. All right, bet.
Camera. My highest check on YouTube was like $700. I'm about to get fresh because that's a lot of money back then to me. I had to basically get my YouTube check up, my biggest one that I had, and then I had to take my camera back, or I had to pound my camera.
I hate when that happens, bro. It's like every time you get some money, something bad happens where you got to spend
get that stuff cut back on. My brother, he just basically just stopped coming around. But we had a crib together, and our rent was $750 a month. That's not including water, trash, and all the other stuff. So my brother left me hanging. I couldn't afford to live on my own there, but I was trying to manage. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to manage month to month. The next morning, we in there playing a game, me and my cousin, and all I hear is do at the door. I'm like, who the fuck at the door? And I walked up to the door, I heard do. I looked at the peephole, and then just boom. Nigga kicked my door in, bro. Like when the door flew open, my head went back, I almost broke my nose. There was 4 niggas at the door and shit, bro. And them niggas was like, they came to rob me. They came to rob me for what I had. I ain't have much but a couple game systems, TV and shit. They came to rob me. It's crazy though because the dude that came to rob me is my best friend, little brother that I was cool with for 9 years. When my best friend was like, can I bring my little bro over? I'm like, yeah, that's your little bro. He came through, we kicked it, and he came back to the crib 3 days later, but he brought 3 other niggas that was from Chicago. I took off to the back of the apartment run. I said, call the cops. These niggas try to rob us, whatever. And then the cops ended up picking me up, taking them to where they put them over at, and I had to ID all 4 of them niggas in their faces, like right there on the block. After that situation happened, you know, I was just very uptight with a lot of things. I was going back to the casino back and forth, and then one night I got lucky, and I made like $20,000 that night at the casino. And this is after my brother then played me with the light bill, the rent. I bounced back on my feet. I had 2 cars at the time. I had this Charger, I had a Dodge Charger, and then I had like a 300 Chrysler.
Yeah, I got a Charger now.
And I let my older brother, get my 300 Chrysler. And one night I came home from Little Caesars, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who the fuck banging at the door? I opened the door. My brother just stormed in the house, locked the door behind him. He said, bro, them niggas trying to get me, bro. They trying to kill me. I was like, who? I looked out the window. These niggas had a bat, just like bashing my car in. I guess the dude my brother was with, this white dude he was with, he got jumped at the club. And then my brother jumped in to help him. And then the dude my brother was with stabbed one of they dudes. So he drove right across the street to our house. And these niggas in 3 cars deep from the club, they followed my brother. My brother hopped out the car, didn't even turn it off. And these niggas just came out with bats and started bashing my shit in. My brother ran upstairs and I ran downstairs. I was in my drawers and shit. I had no socks. I was just in my drawers and a t-shirt. I said, get the fuck off my car. And then they almost ran me over. They didn't know who I was. I mean, I just ran outside. You know, after that, me and my brother, we ended up kind of like falling out after that situation. Cause he
I bet.
I feel like he got one of my cars destroyed, left me with the rent, all that shit. Then I ended up just losing everything again. And I ended up getting an eviction. At Little Caesars, I was the assistant manager at the time. I was a trainee manager, so all the new people that came in, they had to come through your boy. So what I did was, you know, I seen Bianca over there, I had a trainer. I was just like, man, it was a prep station. I was just like, come over here. I'm about to teach you how to put pepperonis on this pizza or whatever. So, you know, I'm going over there teaching her how.
That was the smoothest pickup line ever. I'm gonna teach you how to put pepperonis on these pizzas.
Put the pepperonis on the pizza, talking to her, trying to get her comfortable because I know what I wanted at the time. You know what I'm saying? I already had my eye out.
We was on the prep station, and I
Oh
remember
my
we
God.
was putting pepperonis on pizzas or whatever, and he was like, hey, what's good? The Three River Festival coming up. Are you going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going with my best friend, woo-da-woo.
We was talking. She was smiling and stuff, feeling your boy. And I was teaching her how to, make pieces. And then we went over to the landing station.
You be teaching her how to put them pepperonis on the pizza. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain way you got to put it on there. You got to put it on there with a little finesse. You know what I'm saying?
I taught her how to cut pieces, boxing, and stuff like that. And then that's when I was just like, hey, you going to the festival this weekend? And then, I ended up seeing her at the festival. We ended up walking past each other.
And he was like, hey, what's good? And I looked at him for a quick second. I was like, who are you? And then I had to think to myself, I'm like, oh, that's, blah, blah, blah from Little Caesars or whatever.
She saw, Damien? That's you? I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm from Fresh, yeah. You ain't think I was gonna look like this, huh?
And then he was like, let me get your number. I'm like, all right, bet. So then he gave me his phone and I put my number in or whatever.
I don't know if I asked for her number or I don't know if she just threw me her number. But she gave me her number. I ain't gonna lie. After the festival was over with, I hit her up. It went right to voicemail. Of
course.
She gave me a fake number type stuff. I called it again. I'm like, this girl done gave me a fake phone number. She called me back, was like, hey, what's good? I was like, man, what's good? What you want? She said, nothing, chilling. She said, come slide to my friend's house.
And then we met up, was in the car, talking on like the side of the street. We was just in the car talking, and I remember
Man, I miss them days, bruh. Oh, man, I miss them days.
he had braces, and I was like, them braces so sexy. I'm like, you need to keep those.
I came up over there and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had this little 2004, what I have? I had like a 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. I had a little touchscreen TV in there, the slaps in there, rims on there. So, I was like a little boss. You know what I'm saying? And then, I guess that night went good because she texted me in the morning, said, hey, good morning, whatever. I said, good morning.
The next day or whatever, he came back, and like we seen each other like off and on for like a little bit. I was still in school, and then he had told me he had a girlfriend, so we wasn't really nothing serious or whatever, but yeah, I mean, he was just cute. When I first seen him, I was jealous.
Bianca, she was just like,
Yeah, she was jealous off the first time she met him.
So I was with this girl. Like after I came back from out of town, I ended up moving in with a girl. But she said, you can sleep on my couch. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I was like, okay, cool. She was a rebound. But I really wasn't having fun because, like I told you, I was hurt. I was hurt because she wanted to be with me, but I wasn't ready to be in a relationship because I still couldn't believe this girl broke up with me after 5 years. So I ain't gonna be with nobody. But she kept trying to force it when I was just like, I couldn't get over my ex. So it was like, how can I be with you, even though you open your doors to me? I couldn't do that.
I feel that.
Me and Bianca, I ended up working back at Little Caesars again, and Bianca was there. So I asked Bianca, does she want to go on a date? And she was just like, yeah. So, I took her to the movies. I still was living with old girl, but I wasn't with her. And then after that happened, I went to work at Little Caesars one day, and I got a text message from the girl I was living with. She was just like, your stuff outside. I was just like, huh? I was like, what you mean my stuff outside? I pulled up to the crib, police already there. The police was outside the crib. And then I pulled up, she's like, hey, Mr. Prince, you Damon Prince, right? I was like, yeah, what's going on? Your ex-girlfriend?
Bro, it's like I'm watching this all over again for the first time, bro. I had forgot all about this, dog. I swear to God.
I mean, she's like the girl. I'm gonna call her my ex-girlfriend, but we wasn't together. She was like, oh, your ex-girlfriend called. She said you have no insurance, no license, expired plates, all this stuff, which was true. So she tried to get me arrested. But the officer was like, I can't do nothing about it because you're on private property. And so I was just devastated because I ended up, this girl I was with for 5 years left me. Then this girl ended up calling the cops on me. This is 3 weeks after I moved back to Fort Wayne. But the reason why she did all this, called the cops on me, the reason why it led up to that, is because remember I told you I went to the movies with Bianca. I left.
He bite his lips every time he think about it. Every time he think about that first time they got together, he bite his lips.
The tickets in my back pocket. but I had my pants folded up in the closet, so this girl was going through all my clothes. So I'm thinking, why is she going through my stuff like this? You know? And so I ended up moving in with my friend for like a day. And then me and old girl started talking again, and then I moved back in with her. And 2 days later, after I moved back in with her, I came to the crib. She threw my stuff off a 3-story balcony. She threw my computer, PlayStation, all my clothes was out on the lawn of this apartment edition, of a 3-story apartment edition.
Hey, shorty, we're gonna have to see
and
me.
And they called the cops on me. And then the cops came, they was about to arrest me for domestic violence because my stuff was thrown out on the lawn. She got the locks changed on me and all my stuff thrown out on the lawn. Broke my computer, all my clothes was on the lawn, and I just left it there, and I just left.
Damn.
So when they had moved Damien to a different store, I wasn't really like fazed by it. I mean, I was, cause you know, I was excited to see him every day at work.
Little Caesars, they ended up transferring me stores because they found out me and Bianca went to the movies.
He wasn't really like my main priority. Like I was still in school, I had other dudes talking.
Damn, just cause y'all went to the movies, they transferred you? What? What? Little Caesar's tripping.
To me, so when he moved, it just didn't really, it didn't really bother me, to be honest.
Me and Bianca, we was like on and off. So it really wasn't, we were just texting here and I'd be like, hey, yo, what's good, you trying to chill? Sometimes she don't even text me back for like 3 days. I'm like, okay.
That's that light skin shit.
I was talking to Bianca from time to time, and I started talking to another girl, then another, and I was messing with like 23 girls at the time. On New Year's Day. Well, actually, it wasn't before New Year's Day. It was like Christmas break, cause she still was in school. So she was like a junior. I think Bianca was like a junior that year, and she told her mom. She told her mom and her dad. Well, she told her mom and her stepdad. Well, her mom and dad, whatever. She told them that she was about to stay at her real dad's house for like 2 weeks, her whole winter break. But she lied to her parents to really stay with me. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, she kind of bad. I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She stayed with me for 2 weeks. And she proved something to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we did a lot in that 2 weeks. She stayed at my house. We was getting it in.
I was about to say, y'all did a lot, huh?
You know what I'm saying? We was doing our thing. And then I was just like, shit, Bianca the real deal. So I was just like, you know, F this girl, F that girl. I basically cut all the girls off. Cause I didn't want them no more cause Bianca, I was like, she bad, light skin, thick, beautiful eyes. She was about to stay at her real dad's house for like 2 weeks, her whole winter break. But she lied to her parents to really stay with me.
During that 2 weeks,
I wonder how they feel about
I just kind of felt like he never really asked me out. It's just kind of like, you know how like when you just feel that you're in a relationship with somebody? It was kind of just like that.
I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She proved something to me. I was just like, shit, Bianca the real deal.
Now my grandma, she lived about an hour away from Fort Wayne. Like when I initially got up, I felt really lightheaded and I didn't feel good. So I text my mom like, hey mom, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel good, I'm getting lightheaded, my stomach hurts. She was like, are you pregnant?
Yo, she got pregnant in high school? I didn't know that.
And I looked at myself and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm pregnant. And she was like, Bianca, you better go get a test when you're down there. If not, you're taking a test when you come home. We rode our bikes to Dollar General. I got a pregnancy test and I came back home and I just stared at the test for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to take it. I'm scared about the results. I was 17, I was in school, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready. And I remember my sister and my cousin, they stood outside of the door when I was in the bathroom taking the test. I took the first test and I waited. I didn't look at it, I just waited. And then I looked at the test and there was a plus sign. And instantly I just started crying.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
I don't know if I just started crying because I was nervous, if I was happy. I really didn't have emotions at the time. I just my emotions were everywhere. And
you were nervous because now you're going to have to explain what happened them past 2 weeks.
I yelled to my sister and my cousin. I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. What am I gonna do? I'm in school, mom's gonna kill me. I was just scared.
I got a phone call from Bianca. It was probably around I was on break. So it was around 11:30 a.m. I was on break. She was like, Damien. She didn't even call me. She didn't even text me. She called me. She's like, Damien. I said, what's wrong? She was at her grandma's house when she found out. She was like,
The first person I called was Damien. I called him and I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm pregnant. And he was like, oh my God, for real? I'm so excited, we're gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm happy, I wanted this, I wanted to be, you know, I wanted you to have my first child. And he was just going on about how happy he was.
but she was like crying, but I felt like I was ready for a kid, you know? But she was crying and stuff. I was like, it's gonna be all right. You don't even need to cry. I said, I got you.
And then I text my mom. And when I text my mom, she didn't reply for the longest time. So I'm like, okay, why is she not replying? Is she mad at me? Like, what's going on? And she texted me the worst message that any parent could text you. She said, I'm disappointed.
She was just like, I'm scared
Damn.
to tell my mom and this and that. I'm like, tell her. I'm gonna be here for you. I'm gonna support you.
I mean, I could feel where her mama was coming from. I mean, we look at it now and we be like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? Well, that was DJ, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, you know how parents are, especially when you still in school.
So when I got back home, my mom was like, you're gonna tell your dad you're pregnant. And I was like, no, Mom, I can't tell him. And so I told Damien, and Damien actually came over with me to tell my dad that, you know what I'm saying, we was having a baby, and I didn't know how to break the news to him. I sat at the table and I just stared at him. I was like, it's something I gotta tell you. And he was like, what? And Damien knew that I couldn't tell my dad, so Damien stepped in for me, and he was like, she's pregnant. I went into the doctors and I was having like these really bad cramps. I just couldn't take the cramps. That day, I went to work. I was working at a nursing home. I was working in dietary aid, which means I just take like, you know, the people their food or whatever. And this like stuff just came out of me. And I'm like, what is this? So I went to the bathroom, I used the bathroom, and my mucus plug came out. And I looked at it and I'm like, no, this can't be real. I text my mom like, hey Mom, you know, this stuff is coming out of me, it won't stop. What do I do? She was like, Bianca, you need to get in the car now and you need to come home. And we went to the doctor, and on the way to the hospital, I texted Damien, I called Damien, he wasn't responding. I believe he was playing basketball or something. And when I got to the hospital, they was like, you're 1 centimeter dilated and you can't leave. There's no way we can stop this labor because your water has already broken. And I'm like,
Damn.
I was 32 weeks pregnant, and at that point, I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. He was gonna come regardless. I was scared for my life because a baby's not full term until like 36 weeks, more like 40 weeks.
Yeah, 40
and I was
weeks.
just like, how is he gonna survive this? They
But
were
they
like,
can
it's
induce
okay,
it.
we're gonna have the NICU.
They can induce the labor when it's 36 weeks, I believe.
And I was just like, how is he gonna survive this? They were like, it's okay, we're gonna have the NICU team ready in place. Whenever you know, deliver the baby, we're gonna take him immediately, put him on all this other stuff. And at 3:37, Monday, February 9th, I delivered my first child, and
That's my mama's birthday. Whoa.
I didn't even get to hold him.
Yo. He got my mama
He was 2
birthday.
months premature. He was in ICU for 2 months. And in order for us to, we couldn't take, like when he was born, we couldn't take him home or anything. And like every day, if we wanted to see him, we had to literally go to the hospital.
They let me take a picture with him, and they took him away immediately. Actually, when he was born, he was 4 pounds, 5 ounces. And when I
Damn.
first seen him, he was hooked up to, excuse me. When I first seen him, he was hooked up to all these cords, and he had tubes going in his nose. I don't know if it was my fault. I blame myself for having him early because I was the one carrying him. I went to go see him every single day. I was in school, I was working, I was doing everything, and still I went to go see him every day by myself, reading him books, talking to him, holding him skin to skin to try and make him get better, because I'm staring at this baby that I created and there's nothing I could do to help him.
I wanted my son to be at the crib with me. But Bianca, she wanted DJ to be with her, and I wanted him to be with me. So she said, skip it. She packed her stuff, her and DJ stuff, and she ended up moving with me in my apartment that I had.
So I brought DJ home in
Damn.
March, and then a month later, because my birthday had passed and I was 18, so I packed my stuff and I just left. And when I moved in with him, you know, life was good. DJ was good, everything was good, and then we started kind of to hit rock bottom.
I ended up getting fired from Little Caesars because they found out we had a baby together. They ended up firing me, so, you know.
Damn. Damn, Little Caesars hating. What the hell? Damn, they got fired because they had a baby? Like, that ain't none of their business. What the hell?
You know, I had no choice but to get it, you know, on my own. And at the time I started gambling, things was like really good for me. I was making probably like a lot of money. It was probably like anywhere between like $7,000 to $8,000 a week. I was getting that money from online, like gambling and stuff, like betting like these sports games and stuff like that, because I was really good at, you know, predicting what was gonna happen. I got addicted to gambling, and I ended up like losing like all my money. And then, you know, I have a job, and I couldn't even pay my bills no more.
Didn't have no money. I remember one day he told me, he was like, we just have to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We have to go. He was just like, we just gotta pack our stuff and we just have to go. And we just packed everything up in one day, put it all in a U-Haul truck, and we just sat in the U-Haul truck for the longest time, and we're thinking to ourselves, like, where are we gonna go?
Only thing I had left to my name was $1,000. I started to get behind on my rent. And so when it was time to renew my lease, the leasing office was like, they said, either way it go, you gotta get out of here. I said, why? They said, because you made too many late payments, whatever. I paid my rent, but it was always late.
We actually went into this motel. It was in New Haven, right when you turn left. It was the first motel on the left. We asked them, do they have any, you know, rooms available? And they said yes. They gave us one room. I still remember the room that we was in. I remember the room. I remember what it looked like. I remember what it smelled like. It was a nasty smell. It just motels, it just stank.
You know, it was one bed motel, just me, Bianca, and DJ. We all slept in the same bed and stuff.
It didn't really have nothing in it, and we was living in it for, I think, a couple weeks.
The hotel cost.
Bro, that is stressful as hell. That is super stressful.
$400 a week, and only had $1,000. So the first week $400, second week $400. Only had $200 left. And so that third week, I had to figure out what it is I was gonna do next. So, you know, it got to the point where that $200 ended up gone. And Bianca, she had got a job though, like that same week.
I remember we had got approved for this.
That's a blessing, bro. That's a blessing. Damn, but that's crazy though. Damn, $400 a week, my nigga. So if you were to stay for a whole month, that's $1,200. Nah, that's $1,600. What the hell? Yo, they were busting heads at that motel. What the Hold up. Hold up. We gotta do the math on that, bruh. $400 a week. That's $57 a day. Damn, that shit add up. Cause that doesn't sound like it's that much, but damn. Shit.
She had got a job though, like that same week.
I remember we had got approved for this one apartment. When we got approved for this one apartment, we didn't have nothing but a bed.
You know, it's better than not having anything at all.
Facts.
But we still had no money because, like, you know.
That's how I was when I first
later down
moved
the
in my
line,
apartment.
We was able to pay our rent. I was even working at the time.
I ain't had
lost all
nothing
my
but
money.
a blow-up
Got fired
mattress.
from my job, I ain't have nothing. So Bianca, she would take care of me and my kids.
And I was the only one working, and our rent was, I believe, like $484, $500 a month. I was only bringing in $600 home every 2 weeks.
She was making enough to just pay the rent, but we still had no money. We was digging in the car for change, through the seats, through the couches. We was asking her parents for money all the time. Sometimes he'd be like, oh, I only have like $10. He'll give us $5, he'll keep the other $5. We started sharing cheeseburgers and stuff, you know. It got to the point where we was sharing meals. I still was hungry, we still was hungry, but we had to like save like our $2 or $3 for tomorrow for we can make sure we straight the next day.
And since I was the only one working and, you know, busting
Nigga,
my
that's
butt,
rough.
it was really hard. But then, you know, we came back up.
Bro, see, I'm so glad I reacted to this, dog. Like, oh my God. 'Cause like I told y'all, man, I reacted to this before. But I had forgot all about this, bro. Dog. They were sharing hamburgers. Literally, just think about your favorite hamburger. And think about cutting it in half and you gotta share it with somebody else. Dog, that shit right there, my nigga. Nigga, if this ain't motivation for y'all, I don't know what is, bruh. Bro.
One day, Little Caesars, they called me back. They was just like, hey, Dame, we want to give you a job again. But
I'm
this
like,
time
hell
we
no,
want to
forget y'all.
put you at a different store because you can't be at the store you came from where Bianca was working at now. So I'm like, okay, cool. So they hired me back in as a co-manager. So right off gate, I was on salary. Things were smooth. And then the store I started working at, this girl worked there, but she liked me, but she had a boyfriend. But I didn't care if she had a boyfriend or not. I was with Bianca, you know what I'm saying? She told her boyfriend that I disrespected her or something. Her boyfriend came up to my job with somebody else when I was inside working, and they scratched up my charger. They keyed my car.
Ooh, you scratch my car, I'm gonna scratch your ass. No homo, but don't play with my baby. Don't play with my car now. Oh shit.
So, you know, I was like, all right, cool. And next time I seen him, I knew what it was. My dude was like, hey. They was like, hey, what's his face up front? Whatever, they up front. I went up front, I said, oh, what's good, nigga, woo. I was like, hold up real quick. So I went to clock out because I didn't want to fight when I was on, I didn't want to get into a fight when I was on the clock. I went outside, took my shirt off, what's good, nigga, woo. I was about to fight one of the dudes. You feel me? But his friend was acting
it wouldn't have been no talking with me. Bro, you scratched my car? Oh, it ain't no talking, and I know you did it. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I would have walked up to you, you wouldn't know what happened. You would just woke up somewhere else in the alley. Somewhere in the alley, somewhere.
Stay right here. So I
Or
went
in
to
the
grab
hospital.
my gun off the car. They act like they was trying to jump me, so I went to grab my gun. Niggas
you
started
got to
crying,
get
bro.
lazy.
Called the cops on me and shit. Police came. Then I had a meeting like the next day with the owners of Little Caesars.
Damn,
and
you
then,
got fired.
And then her mom. I ended up getting fired, bro. I got fired 2 times from Little Caesars now.
Damn.
It was like around tax time, and me and Bianca was getting our tax check. And you know, like at the end of the year, you get to like claim your kid and stuff.
That's some
like a little
female
bigger
shit
check.
for a dude
When I
to
moved
scratch
with my
another
dad,
dude's
I
car.
sold my computers. I sold a lot of stuff because I needed some money. So I had no choice but to pawn my stuff. So, you know, when I got a tax check, I was excited. You know, I bought a new computer. So I was on YouTube, just scrolling around. I was trying to figure out another way to like, you know, make money. And I seen somebody on there, they were streaming NBA Live. I was like, these niggas over here streaming NBA Live, running ads. I was like, man, let me try this shit. So I did it. First night, gained like thousands of followers and my money. I was like, oh, I made money off this. Let me do this some more. I was doing it every night. I did it so much, I started making like $2,000 or $3,000 a night. I got this little small check, probably was like 20,000, and this. Let me do this some more. I was doing it every night. I did it so much, I started making like $2,000 or $3,000 a night. I got this little small check.
That's what I thought you said. $20,000 ain't small, Damien. Boy, $20,000 will last me for a whole year. What?
Probably was like 20,000. And what happened was I got this first check. I was like, man, you know, nigga, I lost my car. Nigga, it's time to go get another car. So I love the Charger. So I went to go buy another Charger. And that's when I bought my red Charger. You know what I'm saying? I put like this huge down payment on my Charger for like 10,000. The long story short, NBA wrote me a letter. They was like, listen, nigga, if you don't stop
nigga,
this
you
right
bought
now,
a Hellcat. 10,000 down for a down payment? Damn.
we gonna sue you. So I was like, oh, no. I ended up just stopping. So I had to find another source of income. But before that time ended, I had another check that was supposed to come for like 30,000 the next month. But YouTube ended up shutting my channel down. Like that 30,000, it never came. But I was looking forward to that check. So it put me right back in the hole. I didn't spend all this money on this down payment for this car. This check I was supposed to get for 30K, it didn't come. So, you know, but what I did was, when I got that check for like 20,000, when I put that down payment on the car, what I did was I ended up buying more computers. I bought like 2 more computers, like 3 monitors and shit. So I had myself set up for anything, gaming, streaming, whatever it is I wanted to do, because I upgraded my equipment. You know, so, you know, I had to find another way to make money. And I was telling B, I was like, I think we should do like this couple YouTube stuff. Cause I knew about YouTube. You know, I was like, I think we should do this couple YouTube stuff. And she was like, no, I really don't want to be on YouTube, woo, woo, woo.
I remember sitting inside of the bedroom, Damien was inside the game room, and he came in the room yelling at me. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? He was like, I told you we need to do this YouTube stuff. There's other couples out here doing YouTube. We need to do YouTube.
Around this time, she was pregnant with Kyrie. She was pregnant with my second kid.
See, you know what's crazy, dog? I never knew about YouTube until I started watching them. I'm gonna tell y'all that story. A lot of y'all already know that story, but I got a lot of new subscribers that don't know the story of how I started doing YouTube. I'm gonna tell that story. Probably not in this video because this video is long. I'll probably tell it in part 3. So y'all make sure y'all stick around for part 3 because I'm about to react to part 2 after this one over with. But I'm gonna tell the story about how I found Damien and Bianca and wanted to do YouTube.
And this is around the time me and her, we was just getting into it a lot, man, because money was just up and down, and you know, we wasn't for sure if we wasn't gonna have enough money for this, so it was all over the place.
At the time, I didn't want to do YouTube because I was shy of cameras. I was shy of seeing people. I was tired of people seeing who I was. And he was just yelling at me. And I'm like, stop yelling at me.
I was just like, listen, NBA shut me down, and I'm not about to work no regular job ever again. I just can't do it no more.
Sound like me.
And she was like, why? You need to get a job, we need to have money. And I just said, listen, YouTube is the wave. We need to make this happen.
And it came to a point in time where I'm like, you know what, Damien, you win. Let's do YouTube.
One day, you know, she did YouTube, whatever. She was like, oh yeah, this is easy. I said, yeah, I know it is. And we made like $3 the first day. I'm like, all right, we did like we were doing reaction videos.
$3.
Next day, I was like, let's do 10 reaction videos. And then our money went up like $6.
I'm trying to get like that. I'm trying to get like that, bro, because I'm trying to get in that mentality. That's why I say I'm gonna probably do like 10 videos a day, dog. I don't know. I really want to do at least 15 because I really want to blow this year. I said this year was gonna be my year to blow on YouTube, and I really want to make sure that this year is the year that I blow for real. Cause I'm tired of saying something and then not doing it. You feel me? I don't know if this is dropping down or not. Keep adjusting it, but yeah, man. The whole reason why I go so hard on YouTube right now is because of them, bro. Like I'm trying to follow their game plan. You know what I'm saying? Their map of how they grew. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it is hard, bro. It is dumb hard. It sounds easy, but it's not, dog. So hey, we gonna see how it work out.
$1 the first day. I'm like, all right, we did like we were doing reaction videos. The next day I was like, let's do 10 reaction videos. And then our money went up like $6. I said, yo, babe, if we start doing 15 videos a day, our money gonna keep going up. And we started doing 15 reactions a day, and we started doing challenges, and fast forward time, our first YouTube check ever was $18,000 for 1 month.
So I guess I could say, or whatever, Damien was right. He was right about the reactions. He was right about the YouTube.
See, it's different now though, because man, I really hate because YouTube did this bullshit, bro. Like, y'all not even gonna get all the notifications for all the videos I'm gonna do today. Y'all only gonna get probably 2 notifications because I uploaded a video last night. So y'all gonna get 2 other notifications. You probably gonna get a notification for part 1 and part 2. You ain't even gonna get a notification for part 3. Man, nah, you ain't even gonna get a notification for part 2. Cause I just uploaded a video just a second ago. So yeah. This the last notification for the day right here. So y'all gonna have to be on the lookout for part 2, man. I hate cause YouTube limited to 3 notifications per channel. That's stupid to me, bro. What's the purpose of turning on all notifications if you don't get all notifications? Like, that's stupid, YouTube.
He was right about everything, and I didn't want to believe him. He did tell me, he was like, you just have to believe in me.
Well, she was working full-time at the nursing home, and she cut her hours back at Little Caesars and working full-time doing 15 videos a day on YouTube. And I was like, shit, fuck it, Bianca. Let's just quit your job. Let's just go all in on YouTube. So shit, she was like, all right, cool. And then she quit her job. And then the money ended up coming, the $18,000 ended up coming. And then the second check on YouTube, our second check, was $100,000, our second check. We made $100,000 in 30 days on YouTube.
Nigga. Boy, if I made $100,000 on YouTube in 1 month, boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Boy, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't even know what to do with that kind of money. I'd probably die from a heart attack seeing all those. Nah, I'll play. I don't want to speak that. Lord forgive me for saying that. But nigga, that, bro, $100,000 bro, I don't know how to react to that. I've never seen that much money, especially in my account, bro.
And then after that happened, we was like, shit, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? She ended up quitting the nursing home. She ended up quitting Little Caesars, and we just went all in on YouTube. At first, she didn't really believe in the vision. Well, let's just say she believed in it now. For some reason, it was something about the increase in the bank account that made her a believer.
Of course. That money gonna make you believe.
Everything we touched, you know, has been successful so far, and everything we did. And I felt like we wanted to take things to the next level. We wanted to kind of like upgrade. And, you know, me personally, I felt like music was, you know, the next challenge, the next phase.
So we started doing music, and once again, Damien was right. I have to give him his props because everything that Damien has told me, he was right.
I used to be a rapper back in that day, and but I felt like it wasn't the right time, you know. But I feel like now is the right time because, you know, I got my girl with me, you know, and that's how the song came about, Plays with My bae.
I don't know. I never really see
catching
myself
plays all
becoming
day
into,
with my
like
bae.
becoming an artist, like actually like doing music. I remember he did like a couple songs way back then, and he showed me his music, and I was like, okay. He always told me, I'm gonna have a hit before I turn this on. I'm gonna have a hit before I turn this on. And I'm just looking at him like, you keep saying that, Damien. You keep saying that. When is it gonna happen?
The music ain't really work out by myself. Let's just do it together. And boom, our first song we did called Plays with My bae, that had 1 million views in 2 days. So we was just like, hold it real quick. Maybe we should start taking this music stuff seriously now. Because everything we do, it tends to be successful when we do it together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he gave me what I want, but half of it is mine. You know what I'm saying? I started actually like feeling myself, and I felt good, you know, just being in the studio and saying lyrics that actually meant something to me.
I love my wife, and you know, I want to do everything with her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need nobody else but her. You feel me? Her and my kids.
Catching plays all day with my baby.
I'm about to get copyrighted for that. Dang, well, I'm gonna get copyrighted anyway for this video.
Check with her every single day. Catching plays all day with my baby. She stay loyal when them other niggas play. Catching plays all day with my baby. Blow a check with her every single day. Catching plays all day
To
with
me,
my
our future
baby.
looks mighty bright, man. Let's get it, man. Let's go.
Oh, that's the end. All right, so that's the end of part 1. Hey, man, I hope y'all got inspired by this video right here, man. My whole purpose of reacting to this video again was to inspire y'all and to inspire myself, bro. Because like I told y'all, man, I reacted to this last year, but it was some stuff that I had forgot. I had forgot all about this stuff. And it was like me watching it all over again. It's like, yo, now I see why. Now I see why I go so hard, you know what I'm saying? This is the fuel that I need. You feel me? I mean, I'm a little sleepy right now, but I'm finna do part 2 and part 3 right now. And I'm gonna find something else to react to after that because, bro, hey, no excuses, dog. No excuses. Even though YouTube ain't gonna send out notifications, no excuses. No excuses. I gotta find a way around that. You adapt. That's how you survive. You feel me? So I hope y'all got some motivation out of this video, man. If you want to do YouTube, don't be in people comments hating because your YouTube isn't getting as much views as you want it to. Don't be in people comments on your fake page talking trash because I got a few that's doing that right now. A few, hey, literally I had somebody add me on Snapchat, talk trash, and then unfriended me from Snapchat. So they literally added me just to talk trash, to send a message talking trash, and then unfriended me before I could respond back. Do you know how much of a bitch you have to be to do some shit like that? If you want to help with YouTube, I'll gladly help you. I'll gladly give you some advice. Like y'all haters love to kick somebody. Y'all love to kick the smaller YouTubers when they trying to build. But then y'all go praise a bigger YouTuber. It's so crazy how much money and clout bring respect. But if you don't have money and clout, they disrespect you. Like, who raised y'all? I'm doing the same thing these bigger YouTubers doing, but it's a problem when I do it because I don't have 100,000 subscribers. That is stupid. That is stupid. I literally had people commenting on my videos like when I was at like 4,000 subscribers then. People were commenting on my videos talking about, oh my God, look how many ads. I counted 13 ads in this video. But then you'll go watch another YouTuber with 2 million subscribers with 13 ads in his video and not complain not once. But because I only had like 4,000 subscribers, you complaining because I got 13 ads in my video. Oh, he's money hungry. But the one with 2 million subscribers and got 13 ads ain't money hungry. But he making $300,000 a month off of YouTube. But he ain't money hungry. Come on, bro. But anyways, man, like I said, man, I hope y'all got inspired by this. I got inspired because I want to keep going now. I don't even think I'm going to go to sleep, bro. I'm going to be up all day just grinding, you feel me? So y'all make sure y'all stick around to the channel for more videos dropping, man. This is your boy AyeShadJ and I'm out. Peace.